This worksheet represents our accounting company, TNT. It's day 1, month 1. Right? We have a balance sheet, we have an income statement, we have a direct statement of cash flow, and we have an indirect statement of cash flow. When we put these financial statements together, the important thing to remember is the order in which they are done in. And the order that we do them in is the income statement goes first. We prepare the income statement first. Then we prepare the direct statement of cash flow. Then we prepare the balance sheet. Then we prepare the indirect statement of cash flow. So that's the order that this should be done in. Okay. So we're going to start. The first thing we need to do is to freeze the panes so that we always know where we are, so our headings are never lost. In order to do that, we put the cursor in at the place where we want to freeze the panes. So we go to View and we go to Freeze Panes. Click on that, Freeze Panes. Now you see the lines that tell us where we are, and you see we never lose the heading. Okay, so now if we're going to do the work in the order in which we said we were going to do them in, then the first thing we need to do is day 1, the income statement. Well, in day 1 there was no income, right? So there was nothing to do for the income statement. The direct statement of cash flow, in our day 1, we had a loan, $400,000, and we had partner contribution. Each partner contributed $100,000, so we had $300,000 in partner contribution. Okay. The other side of those entries, remember we're doing accounting, right? So there's always the other side of an entry. There's debits and credits. So this is a cash flow statement. So these are debits to cash. So the credit side is on the balance sheet. So the debit, the entry for this loan, debit cash, that's what this is. Credit, loan payable. So we go to our balance sheet and we prepare the other side of it, and we link that to this loan. Okay. And the other side of the partner contribution is partner capital. We link that to partner contribution. Okay. So we have an entry. We've made our entry, and now we can complete the day 1 direct statement of cash flow. We can total this up. Make a total. We want to have this work the right way from the beginning, so we make a total here, 700,000. The other parts of the cash flow statement are not active in day 1. We only had items from investments, loans, not investments, I'm sorry, financing, loans, and partner contribution. Okay, so now we need to get the increase or decrease in cash, and that equals cash flow from operations plus cash flow from investments plus cash flow from financing, 700,000. So that's our total, and we now come up to an ending balance, and our ending balance would be whatever our beginning balance was plus the increase or decrease in cash will be our ending balance. Now our beginning balance was 0, so write that in, and our ending balance will be our beginning balance plus the increase in cash, which is $700,000. Our ending balance is $700,000. So now we've completed our direct statement of cash flow for day one. We got a loan, partner contribution, and that's it. All right. The next piece that we have to do now is the balance sheet. We have a partial balance sheet, but now we can complete the balance sheet. So we go to the balance sheet, and this cash item here is equal to total cash that we received in day one, which is this number. So we link that to this, $700,000 in cash. We have no fixed assets as of yet. So our sum for assets is equal to sum of our assets. So that's cash plus fixed assets plus whatever might go there. So our assets equal 700,000, and for our liabilities and owner's equity, we do a sum there. We have no partner draw yet, have no retained earnings, so that will also equal this summation. $700,000. Okay, so we have income statement, which there was no income statement. We have a direct statement of cash flow. We've completed that. Balance sheet, we've just completed that. And the last piece is the indirect statement of cash flow. We go to the indirect statement of cash flow, and the indirect statement of cash flow basically is like the direct statement of cash flow, except for the operation section. We have no operations at the moment. We haven't purchased any fixed assets, but these other items we do have, and we just link these to what we already have done. So this is equal to that loan, and the partner contribution, this is equal to partner contribution here. Okay, and cash total is equal to sum. This sum. Okay, 700,000, and the formula here is the same as the formula that we got here. We'll go through it again. The increase/decrease in cash is equal to cash from operations plus the cash from investments plus the cash from financing. 700,000. Beginning balance again is 0. So our ending balance is equal to our beginning balance plus increase or decrease in cash, which is 700,000. So our ending balance is $700,000. So this number agrees to this number, and cash agrees to what's in our balance sheet, as it should. Right? So we have completed day one. Now, we will continue with month one. Day one is day one, and month one is everything after day one. So let's continue with day one. Now, we started getting income. So we do have revenue. Revenue was $2,000 for our first write-up. And so that was the only revenue that we had. So we have total revenue equal to sum. So whatever these items are, whatever they will be part of the sum. Okay, now we had expenses in the first month. Personnel. We had the 2 accountants and the secretary, and we show expenses as negatives and we show revenue as positive. So we will show this as minus 8,000. That was the amount that we paid our accountants, and the other than personnel. This is the amount that we paid the accountants and the secretary, and the other items we had utilities and phone and rent, and that total was 6,000. So we show that as a negative. Total expenses will be the sum of those items. Sum of those items. 14,000. Net income now. How do we get net income? Well, net income is revenue less expenses. So this plus, because it's already a negative, that minus 12,000. Look familiar? This is what we got when we set up our Peachtree company. Right? So this is our income statement. The income statement is first. Next item that we need to prepare would be the direct statement of cash flow. Cash from customers. Cash from customers is equal to the revenue. We booked revenue of 2,000 and they paid us right away, so cash from customers is linked to this. Cash from customers is 2,000. Cash to vendors, and this is negative cash. This is out. This is cash going out. This was the cash that we paid for the rent and for the utilities and for the phone. So that would equal to 6,000. That's negative. That's what we want. We want the cash going out to be negative. And then other expenses. Those other expenses happen to be personnel, payroll. They are not vendors. They are personnel. And that would equal to this number. Okay. So cash from operations for for the rest of the month equal to this sum. Cash from operations is minus 12,000. Now we also purchased fixed assets in the first month. So that entry is debit to fixed assets, credit to cash. So we're in the cash flow statement. So the credit to cash is shown as negative 150,000. Okay. The other side of that is here in the fixed asset side. So we have to link that to the fixed assets that we just got. And we want to make sure that's positive, so that's equal to negative 150,000. Okay, so we want a positive number there, not a negative number. That's the debit. And then that's the cash from investments. So we have the cash from operations, do the cash from investments, which is equal to this sum. And then we want cash from financing. Cash from financing is the loan. Well, we didn't have a loan. We only had that one loan on day one, so nothing goes there. Partner contribution, nothing goes there. But partner draw, we have partner draw. And partner draw is equal to each partner gets $6,000. We have 3 partners, so each partner draws $18,000. Now, that's a cash going out. Total partners draw $18,000. So that's cash going out minus $18,000. So the total there is that sum. Now, if we have this working, we can probably drag this formula over. And then we have the minus 18,000. The other side of this entry is up here, partner draw. And partner draw, the entry is a debit to partner draw, credit to cash. Partner draw is debit. Partner draw is a contra to partner capital. So it shows up as a negative in the balance sheet. So we want to link that to this. Well, it's already a negative in that number, so we just link it to that. So that's our debit for partner draw, that's 18,000. Okay, now we want to finish our direct statement of cash flow. Increase, decrease in cash will equal cash from operations plus cash from investments plus 18,000 equal negative $180,000. Okay? That means we've decreased our cash by $180,000. Our beginning balance is the ending balance from the previous period, so that equals this. Our ending balance is equal to our beginning balance is equal to our ending balance, and it's equal to that. And our ending balance now will be this formula, and we can just drag this over. $520,000. Sound familiar? This is what we got when we set up our Peachtree Company. $520,000 is our ending balance. So now we've completed our direct statement of cash flow. We go to our balance sheet. Balance sheet is done partially. Let's complete it. We can drag this formula over. $520,000 in cash. That's exactly what we want. That's exactly what we expect. Now, fixed assets are $150,000. Total assets would be $670,000. Loan payable. Remember, the balance sheet is a cumulative report. So we haven't had any new loans. So what we had before is what we have now. So our loan payable will be that amount. Partner capital will be this amount. And we have partner draw. We already have partner draw. Now we have this item, which is retained earnings, and that item is equal to the net income that we have for our period. So it equals this amount. Okay. And it means that our total liabilities and owner's equity now will be $670,000, and our assets and liabilities are equal, which is what's supposed to happen. Right? So that's that. Our balance sheet is done. Income statement is done. Direct statement of cash flow is done. Now we go to the indirect statement of cash flow. Now, net income. Now, in the indirect statement of cash flow, cash from operations is equal to, first line is net income. So you have to link this to net income, to that, minus 12,000. Total cash from operations is equal to 12,000. Purchase of fixed assets, we had that. So we can link this to the direct statement of cash flow, which is that. So there's our purchase of fixed assets. That sum is equal to this number, minus 150,000. And we had no new loans, we had no partner contribution, but we did have partner draw. So that number, we link it to a cash flow statement, previous cash flow statement, is that. Okay. Cash from financing is equal to that amount. Okay. Increase, decrease in cash is equal to this plus this plus this. So it's equal to the same as in the other statement that we just did. $180,000 out, $180,000 out. Beginning balance equal to our ending balance. And our ending balance in cash for the indirect statement of cash flow will be 520,000. And 520,000 is the number that we're looking for. Cash in this statement will equal cash in this statement will equal cash in the balance sheet. So it looks like for the rest of the month we have completed our balance sheet, our income statement, statement of cash flows, and if you compare these numbers with the numbers that we got when we set up our Peachtree Company, you see they are the same. Now, the items that are shown in green, this, that, this, and this, those are variables. So those are the numbers that can change. Those are the numbers that are written in, the only numbers that are written in. And once you're done with this spreadsheet, in order to know that you've done this correctly, because the spreadsheet is going to get much bigger, this is only the beginning, the spreadsheet will get much bigger. When you're done, in order to know that you are done and you're complete and everything is linked, you need to eliminate the variables. How do we do that? Well, you hold down the control key and click on the variables. And what you're going to do is you're going to delete the variables. And so all the variables have been selected. And I hit the delete key and everything goes away. Everything goes away. This means there's nothing left. This means that everything is linked properly to those items that are in green. Okay? This is extremely important. So remember, this is the ultimate test. This is the first thing that I do when I get your financials, is to test to see that everything is linked. To get back to where you were, just undo it. Just hit the undo and everything goes back. Okay. Just to review, when we set these up, we do income statement first, indirect statement of cash flow, balance sheet, and then the indirect statement of cash flow. I don't know, maybe I said this incorrectly. Let's start again. When we do this, we do them in the order income statement, direct statement of cash flow, balance sheet, indirect statement of cash flow. That's the order that these should be done in. Okay? That's it. Thank you for your time.